At first glance, Emmanuel Macron and Donald Trump seem to be unlikely allies.
The United States will cease all implementation of the non-binding Paris Accord.
It is an actual mistake, both for the US and for our planet.
The Iran deal was one of the worst and most one-sided transactions.
Le dénoncer aujourd'hui serait une lourde erreur.
To officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
I thought it was a mistake.
Macron, a young centrist, had won the French election by rejecting far-right anger. Trump had supported his rival, the staunch nationalist Marine Le Pen.
Une nation unie dans la défense de son identité.
The two presidents' first encounter last spring was awkward. Trump extended his arms in greeting, but Macron first approached Angela Merkel. And when they did greet each other, Trump gave Macron one of his famous arm yanks. Their handshakes would come to take on a life of their own.
What's being described as an epic handshake standoff.
Alpha male kind of.
That's what I call a French press. I think we just surrendered to France.
It was the beginning of Macron's political courtship of Trump. Other European leaders like Angela Merkel and Theresa May have been wary of Trump's inflammatory rhetoric and periodic taunting of some of the United States' most trusted allies.
That we work together does not mean that we're afraid to say when we think the United States have got it wrong. Retweeting from Britain first was the wrong thing to do.
Macron has mostly tried a pragmatic approach. He shrugged off some of Trump's provocations.
I think we should not overplay the situation and the tweets.
At Bastille Day, Macron impressed his American counterpart with a military parade in Paris.
One of the greatest parades I've ever seen.
And a promise of unconditional loyalty.
Rien ne nous séparera jamais.
There was also the 30-second handshake. Macron seemed to make a point of saying he and Trump were in close contact.
I call him very regularly, probably 3 to 4 phone calls during the past weeks. We have a very good relationship, une relation personnelle forte, régulière.
But why would Macron so openly embrace a president who's unpopular at home and abroad? It's an attempt to burnish his reputation as a leader.
Le monde et l'Europe ont aujourd'hui plus que jamais besoin de la France.
It's also to bolster the perception that France is the key middleman between the United States and Europe, at a time when the United Kingdom is grappling with Brexit and Merkel is struggling to hold on to power. But those are intangibles. On the harder issues of policy, experts say Macron's efforts to try and sway Trump on everything from the Iran deal to climate change have so far come up short.